G'day fellas. Welcome to the second game in the series between SoldieR and Breeze, aka AgeOfKiller. Spawning in the south of the map, we do have AgeOfKiller playing the Swedes, and that makes me glad to see. Sweden, for anybody unfamiliar, is worth 3 points because it is underplayed, and at the moment, I guess people still are really up in arms about whether it's a strong civilization or not too strong civilization. So we've just gone the safe route and given it 3 points for the victory if AgeOfKiller is successful here. But his opponent, SoldieR, picking the British. So the British being a 2-point civilization, if SoldieR wins with this, it's more of a safe pick, the British, especially on a map like Kamchatka. How are you feeling about this matchup, Harrison?
Well, I was about to ask you. You're the resident Swedish expert. I think you'll be the best person to go for this one.
Well, I think it's a difficult matchup for the Swedes, but especially since the removal of dominions, because Sweden don't have access to dominions anymore. If the British player stays in H2 and just simply masses up muskets, it's difficult for the Swedish player to really do anything in response to that. The Swedish player can make leather cannons, but with leather cannons, they do get, unfortunately, quite well countered by 65 musketeers, especially when they're double-carded muskets. So I'd be curious to see how they're how the game's going to be able to unfold, and whether AgeOfKiller is going to be able to semi-FF himself to a victory.
So was this a blind pick or a counter pick?
I believe this is a blind pick, and we actually see AgeOfKiller saying in the chat, "This is for Keister." I like that. I like that. The shit talk already coming out, so that excites me greatly. We have a look at the goats that are being picked up as well. So we've got 4 goats for Breeze. And when it comes to the goat count for SoldieR, only 2 goats so far. So we've got the 3 settlers coming in as the first shipment. Land deck has been chosen. 10 Jaegers in Age 3. No infinite 2 rockets. We've got the 3 rockets instead. A bit of a tussle now happening in the south of the map. Looked like there was some potential treasure contention that was happening. We've got Carl Gustav moving out. 3 villagers now coming in. Let's have a look and see what the deck is. Looks very standard. 9 Karolians in deck. Does have the 6 Mamelukes as well, so not a bad Swedish deck either.
Yeah, the 6 Mamelukes and the Survey Life card are both just utterly disgusting cards. They're just way too good, the pair of them, and it's just the what happens if Sweden goes late game. But as you've mentioned from your past experiences, I'm not too sure late game Swedes on the card here. A bit of pressure here from SoldieR. We're just watching these 2 explorers go at it. Soldier's already thrown down his home trading post to get that experience required to send his second shipment, the Virginia Company, quite early in transition. But both players they don't even have any other scouts. So if they do actually engage in combat, it's basically an equal trade. And both civs are kind of denying each other of treasures, not seeing too much. Seeing Breeze deleting his goats away from the torps.
Needs to be under these torps.
I love my eco management, and I feel that could be worth a Daruga 5 food apiece.
Oh, it's a bit more than that. These gather at the rate of half a villager, so you're missing out on a full villager gathering up these goats by killing them here. If you were to kill them right here next to the coin mine, you'd be getting that full villager extra of gather rate. But Breeze going up with 14 villagers, but idling for a really long time here, so not doing the best. If he had that last villager in queue, he would have gone up maybe 3 or 4 seconds later and had a full extra villager. So a bit of a mistake there, I would say, from Breeze, but curious to see nonetheless how he's going to be managing. He's going up with the Naturalist, going to be providing him the 2 cows as well as the 2 villagers upon age up. We take a look at SoldieR, we see he's going up with the Philosopher Prince and sending in Virginia Company as his second card.
Yeah, so the Philosopher Prince, 500 food on the age up. That will provide you your food to continue your settler production from the town centre, whereas all of your other villagers will be continuously chopping wood for the manor houses, which are now cheaper, for that real strong, fast, quick, I guess you could say boom. You're probably going to get to about 110, 120 mana population early on, with then the potential to go on to 200 mana population later on. But I'm expecting to still see the barracks drop down at a somewhat semi-forward position. I'm not expecting in-base racks here from SoldieR. He needs the map control. He is the British player. He has lots of villagers. He's going to expand and take all his natural resources very, very quickly. And I've watched how you play the Swedish a lot of times, and they're very more of a defensive-based civilization. So SoldieR should be looking to take the map. AgeOfKiller, is his first card going to be the 700 wood to get a few torps on the map?
I suspect it will be. after the removal of dominions from the Second Age, it seems like the most viable choice. But we take a look at his macro. He's definitely doing quite well when it comes to how much resource he's got. He's going to be able to drop down a barracks immediately upon aging up and just get a whole batch of Carolians out. Already with the resources he's got, he's able to get 6 Carolians into queue. So, you know, not going to be able to slouch, or not going to be slouching.
3 villagers are moving forward, and that's a lot of villagers. He's dropping a barracks down quite quickly, it looks like. I assume it's a barracks and not an artillery foundry.
It is a barracks, yes. Got these cows out the front as well. Needs to be a bit careful with those, because the Explorer does move through. Going to have Richard Thompson scouting that out. And we actually see Breeze deleting the cow. So if he deleted it right here, then this one would also be gathering. We can see that it's not collecting. These 2 are both collecting it, but not this one. So he's going to be receiving a little bit of decay, a little bit more decay than what he should be. We'll take a look at SoldieR, see what he's up to, sending in the 700 wood from the home city, dropping down a barracks himself now as well. So that Virginia company, he's got 9 manor houses out at the moment. So going to be able to finish, hopefully, I suspect, every single manor house within the next minute. Should be down on the ground, but we'll take a look at his line of sight. Not doing a huge amount of mana booming or mana line of sights. I do like the fact that he's put it on this coin mine out here, sort of securing line of sight, making sure that there's no sneaky villagers coming up. I do love sending a villager or 2 out to the north of the map when I'm playing Sweden, just to sort of get that extra bit of line of sight. Second barracks now dropping down for SoldieR as well.
Yeah, so SoldieR's dropping a manor house in that position, a little bit of extra macro, and you can drop down 1 or 2 wall pieces on the coin mine as well, just those individual pillars, just to really block it off. And if a villager goes up there wanting to build a torp, going to have a bad day, it's going to realise that one's not available, and we'll have to move to the middle of the map, where chances are SoldieR's forces will be occupying and forcing Breeze's boom down to the south of the map. And it looks actually Breeze has only got access to 4 coin mines he can safely torp. He's got 9 torps in his own base, so these coin mines are going to go very quickly. He's got those 2 coin mines on the southern side of the map to torp if he so chooses to, but he's not spreading this out, and I don't know, he's gone quite aggressive on his decisions, sent in early 2 lever cannons where there's not really much pressure at the moment.
Yeah, I've got to agree. Look, I definitely wouldn't have played it this way. One of the things that is notably absent from Breeze's playstyle is there's no forward villagers that have come down here. You've got a lot of coin mines that you could potentially be putting torps on, and you're just not doing it. As you mentioned, he's put up 9 torps in his base now, so these coin mines are going to be going down quite fast, and we do have torps now being built up towards the north of the map. Villager going to be going down to the longbows. So making the right decision in expanding up to the north, but got some coin mines down to the south that definitely need to be doing a bit more expanding with. SoldieR's going to be spotting these Carolians coming in, so being very careful with his longbows just to not to lose them. Now Musketeer's going to be getting snared by Carl Gustav. Carolian's going to be able to get on top of them. I suspect we might see a charge coming out potentially.
Longbows in the back, though, providing supporting fire. This is going to be a somewhat of an equal trade, but I feel that SoldieR's eco at the moment is just a little bit better. Here comes the lever cannons, though, so that's actually going to turn the tide in his favour, but SoldieR can just retreat, disengage, train another batch of musketeers. He's got to be careful, though, that his hunting villagers on the top side don't get zoned off here by the Carolians, so Breeze is going around the right-hand side, allowing the villagers to run to the left, but if Breeze went up straight up that north, and then cut the villagers off, and then cut east, could actually pick off 5 vills there, but chasing the longbows, I feel this is giving SoldieR time. This is just giving SoldieR time, and even charging onto the longbows. SoldieR realizes his longbows are dead. He's not going to turn around and try and fight them, because they're not great. They have a bit of setup animation, not great multipliers, but Breeze sending in the cannons early on, he's giving up chasing longbows. He realizes how he doesn't need them, and he's going back in. Meanwhile, SoldieR's probably got 20 musks on the field.
20 musks on the field. Let's take a look. We'll see. You're darn well right. He's got 7 muskets out, and he's got a whole bunch more in queue. So, got 3 husks now coming out from AgeOfKiller. Walking past those longbows. I think he's just realized now, so going to be able to clean those up. A lot of early aggression coming out from Breeze. I didn't expect this.
Yeah, he's sending the 3 hussars, but even at this point, 140 top population is not super amazing, but blueberries here, I feel, would just give you a bit more balance between that of eco, potential spamming more units, and then the 3 huss. He really needs the 3 huss to do well, but all he's seen is musketeers, and we've seen the hussars in the background from SoldieR, not yet scouted here from Breeze, but the 3 hussars versus that type of army, I don't think he's going to get that critical value he wants from that early investment of shipments. unfortunately, the market goes down before the Great Goats get completed, so I'm a very sad person today. And actually could be a bit critical, because if Breeze has been pushing in, Soldier's got a lot of extra villagers to spare, so that could be tactical tanking, but Breeze has gone in, done quick for market. A house is not that great, and because of Soldiers and mana booming, these are pretty cheap, so yes, he will get a lot of experience points, but Soldier is not going to be, he's not any risk of being housed. That's just going to be another villager for him at a later point.
And that's exactly it. It's you know, it's experience that you can gain, but it's a bit of a trade-off, because it's one of those things where you need to be able to utilize that experience and leverage it, because otherwise your opponent's going to be getting a free villager out of it. That's exactly what is going to be happening. Now see the Hussars from Breeze going down here, so losing that shipment of what is essentially 700 resources going down now. So managing to actually put the muskets in the corner though, so he's got to be careful. The 2 leather cannons especially in a good spot here. But it definitely looks like AgeOfKiller might actually be in a pretty decent position. 3 musketeers now falling back, trying to do their best. We've got the charge coming out.
Oh, that's huge. If he's got the charge, then there's no way these musketeers escaping. He has to force to take the fight. But the trade here for Breeze, he's got so many more villagers, military units trading so well. Soldier's got the eco, but it doesn't matter. He just lost basically 15 musketeers. There were probably 17, I think, in total.
Yeah, 17.
For about 5 Carolians. The cannons are still on the field. A small raid is very nice to get back in. But let's look at the military he's got in his base in terms of musketeer count. He's got to start from scratch again.
He's up to 18 muskets now. Got 2 more in queue, sending 6 from the home city as well. Main issue is going to be these leather cannons, but look, these leather cannons are out of position right now. I don't think Soldiers realized he's sent out a couple of Hussars, but wasn't really able to utilize it in time. Very unfortunate for AgeOfKiller, almost potentially losing an entire shipment there, so he's got to be a bit more careful with him. Sending 8 pikes from the home city, so not even opting for any aggressive or any economic cards. This is impressive. I've not seen this style of play before. No blueberries, no ironworks. He sent in the team heavy infantry hit points, though.
Oh my! Why is he sending pikemen? Like you can justify the 3 Hussars for tempo to like back up your cannons here, but pikemen versus pure musketeer spam with the British player. To defend 1 Hussar. This has got blueberries written all over it now, and unless he's gone past the blueberry timing of all your starting berries have gone, that could be the only other consideration at the moment. But I think the pikes are just too late to really be an aggressive shipment in this moment. And here comes the fight. Soldier with a couple of musketeers pushing forward. Minutemen being called. Minutemen likely to target down the leather cannons. Leather cannons are pseudo artillery pieces, not that strong actually. Only picking up 2 musks. Already going down. Villagers coming out to tank as well. They don't have the great coats. I don't think there's any musketeer upgrades here for Soldier. So all in all, it's not too bad of a trade for both players. But Breeze can escape with the faster units and charge if he so chooses.
Indeed. This is one of the things that I say about leather cannons, is because on paper they look like, you know, relatively good pieces of artillery that can counter the British musket mass. But the truth is, once you reach that critical mass with your muskets, you can one-shot a leather cannon. Well, then you don't need to worry about it anymore. They're essentially a useless piece of artillery until you get that speed upgrade in the 3rd age from the upgrade, the what's it called, light gun carriages. Then you're able to sort of leverage their power a little bit more. But in the 2nd age, once the muskets are at critical mass, it's definitely a bit harder to win the fight. But we've now got the pikeman raid out on the west of the map. So these 8 pike shipment getting a lot of value for AgeOfKiller. Finally managing to torp this coin mine. We're at 11 minutes now. He's dropping down a forward torp. This is his 18th torp. Also sending in 700 coin behind this, so could potentially be looking for an age up. Alternatively, could just be looking to train units. He's got a stable out for Sweden. This is strange. You don't normally see a stable for Sweden, let alone in the 2nd age, so curious to see how he's going to be able to utilize this. Can you tell me a bit about the units that can be made from the stable? I'm not actually familiar.
I didn't realize Sweden even got a stable in Age 2, but I believe they have the same units as all the other European civilizations. That is the Hussar. But I'm just kind of laughing to myself about this pike raid here from Breeze. Like it's not just a pike raid; it was a pike scout who's running into complete darkness with the pikemen, not really knowing what he was going to find. He's just come across musketeers, and so the thing is, yes, he got a villager, but like that's a shipment. You can get so much more value than just a 1 villager kill with a shipment. And here comes a fight, but I think Soldier's probably just sent in musketeer attack. I think he was waiting for 1 musketeer upgrade. No, he hasn't. What was that shipment he last sent in? I can't remember what it was.
I think it must
Maybe
be 6 bows. 6 longbows coming in. It's the most recent shipment.
I would have much preferred an upgrade card at this point, but he's taking the fight. He's waiting for the 6 bows to turn up to help and assist. Pikeman just tanking and doing noise to the south side, but yes, annoy them, go straight in, but there's still enough military units here for soldiers to push Breeze back, and Breeze is on the run. Yeah, those 6 bows felt awkward, actually.
Got a bit of a raid now heading out just inside Soldier's base. A couple of villagers almost going to be going down here. Looks like the first one is going to be going down. Going to get picked up by the enemy Hussars. A little bit of Hussar on Hussar action mob. We've got some Musk on Carolian action down towards the south. Breeze's economy not looking too bad. He's up to 200 population now. No ironworks, no blueberries sent in from the home city. Economy for Swede is going to be a little bit slower. But nonetheless, he's managing to repel the British attack. We've got units now pretty much beginning to divide around the map. Well, this is actually quite awkward for Soldier. Soldier's got to be careful. We've got the upgraded Carolians that are going to be against the unupgraded. To think we're at 14 minutes and he's got no upgrades on these muskets. Every British player I'm playing against is double upgraded by 8 minutes. Why can't Soldier be the guy I play against? Now the Carolians are just shredding.
Soldier had like 15 units defending against the pike raid down to the south, missing out on the critical engagement here. And actually the secondary batch of Hussars here from Sweden is a really strong play. I'm really loving this Musk-Huss play because the Hussars tank a lot of ranged fire from Musketeers, whilst the Carolians are your damage dealers in the background, and with their slightly higher rate of fire, actually protecting them with the Hussars is a big brain play here from Breeze. And although Soldier's still ahead in the score lead, those natural resources starting to run low, the Torps are still gathering. I think Breeze is slowly edging his way back into this one.
I think you might be right. It's definitely one of the keys is the fact that a lot of the natural resources have run out. We've got 24 villagers on food, but take a look there. They're just gathering the blueberries at this point. Speaking of blueberries, so the blueberries have actually been sent in now by Breeze, so very late, 14-minute blueberries. I'd be curious to know exactly how many blueberries he got out of this. But he's also sending in the Ironworks card as well from the home city. It's going to be
Soldier has only just gotten his steel traps upgrade as well, so he's been missing out on that plus 20% eco for about a good 7 minutes. I think it's a fair shot. I mean, he has been defending quite well, so let's say 5 minutes, but that's a huge upgrade to not have. So that should be able to give him a lot of impetus now to remass. But look at, he's running vills, he's running military units, has picked up a few shrines, but he's gone through the hunt on the top side. This hunt on the left hand side of the map is where he needs to go now, but Breeze is kind of running units around, and I think Soldier's basically got 3 minutes to turn this game back on its head before the Swedish player and their stupendously strong mid-game eco is just going to overrun the British eco and just take off.
We hear the Carolian charge now coming out. Carolian charge moving in to finish off the last of these muskets and longbows. They're going to be able to do it. Let's take a little look around the map. I want to see how many blueberries we've actually got for Breeze. He's got 3 over here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in the base. We've got 3, so still quite a substantial amount of blueberries. You know, the current meta is to send in your blueberries early. But interestingly, Breeze sending them in quite late, but still managing to pick up blueberries on all but 3 of his torps. Bit of a musket raid now coming in from the north as well, but being picked up by AgeOfKiller. Now, Soldier on Mills at 15 minutes into the game. This is painful. Yeah. This is really painful. Yeah.
Especially when the other player's food eco is even getting stronger with the blueberries. It's an interesting dynamic where when one player's food eco gets worse, the other player's eco is just getting stronger and stronger. Here comes the Minutemen call from Breeze. Hussars snaring Explorer in the snare mode as well with strong ranged fire of the Musketeers and the Minutemen. That's another batch of units going down for Soldier, and he really needs to remass a large force to take on Breeze, but his main force is charging through the middle of the map into Soldier's base at the moment, looking to put pressure on the eco, and if all these mill gatherers are in the town centre not gathering, that's no food eco there for Soldier, no more units, and is just going to fall behind. He needs to protect his eco at all costs, and this might be a do or die fight from Soldier in his base. He is fighting with about 8 musketeers, but that's just not enough, and he's caught it.
Wow. Okay, so look, I'm impressed. Breeze's play, I didn't expect it to be, I didn't expect that. That was an incredible, the 3 Huss into the 8 pike shipment. That's pretty impressive. to pull out the victory there. But at the same time, you know, we saw the HP upgrade coming in from SoldieR right there at the end at 16 minutes. In this matchup, typically, you're going to want that coming in a lot earlier than 16 minutes. Typically, I'd expect that to be, you know, like you see 3 villagers, VC, 700 wood, 5 villagers, musk health, musk attack. You know, that's normally the build order in this matchup.